Hi there. Now we're going to do lesson 303. The Holy Christ is born in me today. Watch with me, angels. Watch with me today. Let all God's holy thoughts surround me, and be still with me while heaven's Son is born. Let earthly sounds be quiet, and the sights to which I am accustomed disappear. This means let's let the ego sounds, the things that I perceive when I see through the eyes of my ego, let's let all that disappear. We're accustomed to it, but let's let it disappear. Let Christ be welcomed where he is at home. Let's see Christ everywhere, because Christ is at home in every single one of us. Let's see that there. And let him hear the sounds he understands, and see but sights that show his Father's love. So this sentence right here is why I do what I do, which I discussed in the previous 2 lessons. So when I see somebody in the midst of something that could be called by the ego traumatic, terrible suffering, I choose to see God in everything I see. I choose to see the love in them. I choose to see the potential in them. I choose to see the Christ consciousness in them, even if they're not seeing it, because clearly if they're suffering, they're not realizing the Christ is in them. I choose to see that for this very line here in this lesson 303, sentence number 5. And let him hear the sounds he understands, and see but sights that show his Father's love. Let him hear the sounds he, capital H, understands. When I am sending love, there is a hearing. Vibrationally, there is a receiving. We're all like radios receiving signals. We're either receiving signals from the ego, which are low frequency, low vibrations, or we're receiving high frequency, high vibration energy. Waves. So I like to send waves of love. So let him hear the sounds he understands. Let me send love, because at the heart level, it is understood. Maybe not intellectually at the mind level. And see but sights that show his Father's love. I only want to see that sights that show me the Father's love. What is the Father's love? God is in everything I see. Because God is the love that is in everything, because everything is made of energy. Everything is the physical expression of the non-physical energy that all is. So I am being told, let my brothers and sisters hear the sounds, feel the vibration of me knowing the truth, and let me see my Father's love in all of them. Let him no longer be a stranger here, for he is born again in me today. So I don't want to let Christ be a stranger in me, because it is born in me every time I see it born in you. Because when I give it birth in you, by seeing it in you, it is born in me. Giving and receiving are one. There's no way around that law. That is one of the laws that we have to get really comfortable with, because whatever you believe about another is a belief about you. Paragraph 2. Your Son is welcome, Father. He has come to save me from the evil self I made. Yes, my brothers and sisters save me every single time I see God in them, because that saves me from judgment, which means it pulls me out of thinking that I am an ego. It moves me into acknowledging the God in me, because I see the God in them. He is the self that you have given me. He is but what I really am in truth. Because if I see it in them, I'm acknowledging the truth in me. He is the Son you love above all things. He is myself as you created me. My holy self is the same as your holy self. If I look at your holy self, I can only be seeing it with my holy self. It is not Christ that can be crucified. We cannot crucify Christ, because Christ is formless, eternal, the energy of love. And that's what Jesus, the man 2,000 years ago, came here to teach us. His body was crucified, but the Christ, the energy, the soul, the spirit that he is, cannot be crucified. It's what's eternal speaking to us 2,000 years later through a book called A Course in Miracles. He channeled, consciousness spoke through Helen Schuckman. She opened up to receiving that consciousness, wrote down the information, and here we have the book that teaches us exactly how to shift our perception, trains our mind to know the truth. Then we have to do the work of opening up our heart by seeing with the eyes of love, love outside of us, all around us. because that is how we affirm the truth that we have learned about. So it is not Christ that can be crucified. Safe in your arms, let me receive your son. Safe in your arms. So safe in our arms, God receives his son. So in God's arms, we are safe in God's arms when we acknowledge that, and we are safe in the mind of God. So we receive in our arms our brothers and sisters. We receive the truth of them because giving and receiving are one. And then we give to our Father in God's arms all the love that we have for our brothers and sisters. And God gets to hold us while we are awake, loving one another. Isn't that a beautiful vision that God is embracing all of us? And when God is embracing all of us who are awake, loving one another, what a beautiful thing is that? Can you imagine God observing us? There are parts in the Course that tell us that God's not complete until we are complete, until we know that we are one with each other. God is not complete. God is waiting for us. It's like looking at us in its arms going, come on, people, love one another already. I'm sending you so many teachers. Love one another already. So that's what I'm doing, loving you, loving everything. Why? Because that's how I honor that God is the love that I've been created by and as. Thanks a bunch, and I'll see you in the next lesson.